So today I'm going to get my subscribers and passers-by up and running on the Retrobat with 3 different PC Engine systems. So we got PC Engine, that's the original TurboGrafx, it's also known as, and we got PC Engine CD, and this was also referred to as CD-ROM 2, and we of course got the failed Supergrafx console. So as in all my videos, I'm going to get you up and running with which files you need to run each one of these systems, as well as looking at each one's system's video settings. So check this one out. Okay, so if you're new to my channel and you like what you see today, do hit notifications, subscribe, and also like. It gets you content for Retrobat, Launchbox, Batacera, even Raspberry Pi I cover nowadays for emulation, retro emulation that is. So what we're going to do is break this up into 3. What I'm going to do first is start with PC Engine. That's TurboGrafx 16, it's also known as. So what we're going to do first is head over to the Retrobat shortcut. If we right click on this one, open file location, bat GUI, and we're going to go to system list. And if we just pull down system just here, now I've had reports in the past that some of you can't see this, what I'm pointing my cursor at right now, and there's a good chance that you haven't installed the correct files when you set up Retrobat. So if you can't see any of this, follow my comprehensive setup guides to get that sorted out for you. So we're looking at PC Engine, and this isn't down as TurboGrafx, this is going to be listed as PC Engine. And here we have it. So PC Engine, extensions for this is going to be .pce, .bin, .zip, .7zip, and also .wad. We've got 3 libretto cores just here, that's obviously Retroarch cores. So what I'm going to do first then is if we just go over to where Retrobat is installed and go into the ROMs folder, if we drag this down until we get to PC Engine, and that's right next to PC Engine CD, and I've got a PC Engine game here which is Batman. So it's a very odd game, Batman. It doesn't really go well with the film, it's just a really bizarre game, but let's put this one in the PC Engine. Now next thing I'm going to do is if we open up Retrobat, and once we're inside Retrobat, we're actually going to find which BIOS files we need. So to do this, I'm going to go to main menu, and from here I go to game settings and missing BIOS check, which is right at the bottom, very easy to find. So just go into this menu, and what we're doing is actually looking for PC Engine, PC Engine CD, and potentially Supergrafx if Supergrafx needs a BIOS file. So just scroll down. And there we go. So we can see right just there that PC Engine requires a BIOS file named syscard3.pce. And if we just scroll down a little bit further, we've got no PC Engine CD actually listed. So if we just check out Supergrafx, well, Supergrafx is also asking for the same BIOS, which is syscard3.pce. So to my understanding then, we don't actually need a BIOS file for PC Engine CD, or rather PC Engine, as we've seen just here, is also going to support PC Engine CD as well. So now we know which BIOS file we need. What we can do is just exit out of Retrobat, main menu and quit. And if I go back into the directory of Retrobat, and into my BIOS folder as I got here, what I can do is actually drag and drop that BIOS file into place. So as it said just a minute ago, Retrobat syscard3.pce. So this one's not going to go into a folder, it's just going to be dropped in like I've just done there. So we got our PC Engine game in place, and we've also got this syscard3 in place. So what I'm going to do is open up Retrobat again in Test Out PC Engine. Okay, so if we just go into PC Engine, the first thing I'm going to do is just download some cover art in a preview video. So main menu again, scraper, and scrape now. And if you're not sure how to scrape artwork in preview videos, again, it's all on my comprehensive setup guides for Retrobat, which is doing really well for itself at the moment. It's on 10,000 views, so thanks for everyone who subscribed through that video. It's obviously very popular amongst you. So scrape and finish, update game list and apply changes. So we're going to go to game settings, update game lists and really update game lists. And here we go. So if you've not seen this version of Batman before, Bizarre is a name I'm going to call this one. So view options, advanced system options, and if we go to emulator, we've got three different Retroarch cores here, and we've also got Mendefen PCE, which is an emulator to download through Retrobat. But I'm going to leave this to auto, and by leaving this to auto, it's going to automatically detect and use this core just here, which is Mendefen PCE, which works fine to my knowledge. So just leave this on auto, and all my video settings are also on default or auto. So let's boot up Batman. Now, the decorations on the side, as we can see, Batman is working terrifically. So next thing I'm going to do is to look at it, taking away the decorations. As you can see on the sides of the gameplay screen, we see images of PC Engine or TurboGrafx. So to do this, view options, advanced system options, shader set, I'm going to put this to enhanced, and you can find a lot of interesting shaders here. For example, if I put curvature on, this is going to make the screen, or rather the game screen, look like an old-fashioned CRT TV. So that one's worth checking out if you really like that type of thing. We've also got scan lines under shader set, which I know a lot of people enjoy in their games. So I'm going to keep this to enhanced. Decorations. So at the moment, we got default unglazed, which is here, but I don't particularly like these, and not everyone likes them. So to get rid of this, I'm going to go to none. Game aspect ratio, I'm going to put this one to custom. Integer scaling, I'm going to put this one to on, and this is going to reduce the size of the screen very slightly, but it just makes it look a lot nicer and takes away a lot of the pixelation. Vertical sync, I'm going to put to yes. Vertical sync takes away screen tear in some games, so leave that to yes. And for the real technical side of this, if we go into advanced settings and video, you can even get the emulated signal type for this emulation. So we got RGB and composite. So for old scorers like myself, you'll know the difference between composite and RGB. So if we back out of here and visual rendering, if we go into smooth games and just make sure this one's on, that's going to again take away a lot of pixelation. Internal resolution, maybe bump this one up to high. So internal resolution, again, that's going to clean up the image and take away pixelation too. So with these in place, let's open up Batman again. Of course, as we can see there, it's not entirely full screen. So if we go back to view options, advanced system options, and under game aspect ratio, I'm going to put this one to full. And let's check this out. So back out and back into Batman. So as we can see, some people might like that style, some might. Personally, I quite like the way that is. So anyway, we got PC Engine now dealt with. So next one I'm going to do for this is going to be Supergrafx. So let's just quit out of Retrobat, main menu, and quit. So in my folder, I have got a Supergrafx game, which is the very awesome arcade classic 1941. So again, what I recommend doing is going into your system list, which can be accessed through the Bat GUI. And if I just scroll system down to Supergrafx, which is listed here. Again, we got 4 different file extensions which your games can be in for Retrobat to support this system. So we got .pce, .zip, .7zip, .fba. We've got 2 cores this time which supports Supergrafx, which is Menafin, Supergrafx, and FB Neo. So let's just close this down a minute, and what we're going to do is just drag this zip file, or rather zip extension, of 1941 into my Retrobat ROMs folder. So open file location, and what we're going to do is just go to ROMs again, and just scroll down until we get to Supergrafx. And here we go. And if you just remember a minute ago when I was going through the BIOS menu in Retrobat, the same BIOS file is also going to be working with this Supergrafx game. So let's just open up Retrobat again. Okay, so we can now see Supergrafx, and if we go inside this one, here's our game, 1941. So again, let's just get some artwork and preview video for this one. So main menu, scraper, and scrape now. And just to remind you again that if you're not sure how to do all these type of settings, just check out that comprehensive guide I did a little while back in. That should get you up and running with doing this type of thing. But very briefly, once it's finished scraping, it's going to say to us go to game settings and update game list, like it's saying here. So press yes. And here's our 1941. Now, if I go into view options again and advanced system options, as we can see, we've still got a Menafin emulator and a couple of Retroarch cores. And let's open this one up. So I'm going to leave everything to default and check out 1941 counterattack in default and auto settings. So as we can see, 1941 is running really well again. So what I'm going to do once again is just go to View Options, Advanced System Options, Shader set, we got the same options here as we just did with PC Engine. And this time I'm going to just show you how scan lines look. So shader set, I'm going to set to scan lines this time. Decorations, I'm also going to put to none. And just remember, in decorations, you've got a nice selection here of how your games are presented. But personally, I prefer to have none. But I know that a lot of people out there likes that type of thing to give that authentic retroness about things. So game aspect ratio, I'm going to just go for full on this one, but you can experiment with many different aspect ratio sizes here. But for a full screen, you're either really looking at custom or full. Those are your two options. Integer scaling, I'm going to put this one to on again. Vertical sync, yes. Again, just to remind you, vertical sync takes away screen tear should there be any 3D parts in our games. Visual rendering, I'm going to make sure this one's on. That's going to take away pixelation. So let's check out 1941 again with these new video settings applied. So as we can see there, we got scan lines and that's looking pretty good. So we've now got PC Engine sorted out and we've also got Supergrafx sorted out. So obviously we're now going to be working on CD-ROM 2, also known as PC Engine CD. So back to main menu. And again, I'm always going to say this in my videos, but we need to find out which file extensions we need, and back GUI is your best friends here. So System and PC Engine CD, and here it is. So extensions, or rather what your games need to be ending with, is .pce.q. Now .q will also come with .pitbin files. We've got .ccd, .iso, .cso, .img. There's a lot there. So we know which file extensions we need, and obviously here's our cores. So let's close this down once and for all. And what I'm going to do next is go into my PC Engine CD folder. Now I've got Golden Axe here, and out of all honesty, I put this to default settings within Retrobat, and using a zipped file of this game just won't boot it. It gets stuck on the firmware screen in PC Engine CD. So for this reason, you can either try zip files, or what I recommend you doing if you should have a zip file is just unextract it. So right click on it, and I'm going to use WinRAR for this and extract it. And this is going to take out the bin files and also the Q file. So what I'm going to do next is open up the Retrobat directory, open file location, and we're going to go to ROMs again. And this time we're going to look for PC Engine CD. So what I'm going to do first, we've got all these files, but we don't want to put them loose inside of this folder. If you've got several games for PC Engine CD, it's going to get messy very quick. So what I recommend you doing is creating a folder with the title of your game. So I'm going to right click, new, folder, and I'm going to just call this Golden Axe. And with all these files which I've just extracted, minus the zip file itself, or rather the zipped folder, I'm going to just copy the Q, which is this orange one just here, and all the .bin files, and I'm going to copy them and just paste them inside of this Golden Axe folder. So now that they're in place, what we're going to do is just open up Retrobat one more time. Okay, here's our final system then. PC Engine, CD-ROM System 2 or CD-ROM 2 system. Quickly grab some artwork for this. So main menu, scraper, and scrape now. And main menu, game settings, update game list, and yes. And here we go, Absolute Arcade Classic of the late 80s. So I'm going to just open this one, and again, everything's going to be on default settings. So let's just open up Golden Axe. Now you're going to start off with this screen just here, which is fine. Now, just a minute ago, I said I have attempted this with zip files, but it wouldn't load. Whether that's a problem with this core or something else, I'm not sure, but I have tried, and that's why I recommended getting those .bin files and .q file and putting them into a folder. So as we can see, push run button. So I'm going to press start, and here we go. So anyway, as you can see, that's running well, and we've also got the advantage with the CD sound on that, so that's why the music sounds so good. Gameplay-wise, it's not actually too bad, this version. So again, we're going to play around with some video settings. So view options, advanced system options, emulator. This is obviously where we can use different cores or download this bottom one just here. That's optional, but as we can see, this works fine with auto using this libretto core here. Shader set, I'm going to show you curvature this time. And decorations, I'm going to put to none. Game aspect ratio, I'm going to put to full. Integer scaling to on. Vertical sync to yes. Visual rendering, and I'm going to smooth this out to get rid of any pixelation. Internal resolution to high. Again, this is going to really bring our game to look really fresh and new. So let's check out Golden Axe again with these settings applied. And remember, I've now got this old school CRT curvature, as you can see here. It looks pretty cool. So definitely not the greatest port of Golden Axe, but it's pretty playable. If you was around the arcades around the early 90s, late 80s, and you actually completed it and battled Death Adder, then fair play to you. I spent a lot of money in the arcades on back in the day playing Golden Axe. I didn't get too far. So that's it for my PC Engine or TurboGrafx 16, PC Engine CD, and also Supergrafx setup guide today. It's been a long one, but they're three similar systems, if not all belong to the same family, and I thought let's just put all these together. So you can find all my Retrobat setups, which is going to be in the description of this video, and that's going to tell you everything I've done to date. I'm also on social media such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Also, be sure to check out my memberships. And just to remind you, I've got a live streaming session on the 31st, and that's at 9 p.m. So if anyone's got any questions regarding Retrobat or anything else emulation related that I cover here on my channel, be sure to join that. That's the 31st of this month, and that's going to be at 9 p.m. So until next time, stay retro.